So last week I released my review on The Impossible Planet in the Satan Pit, a story I believe to be highly overrated by the fandom. So now, despite its slightly flaws that I'm oblivious to, I will look at an underrated story from the same series. At this point I should probably rebrand my channel to Biased Who or Uncharitable Bastard Who.
I'm an uncharitable bastard. I'm an uncharitable bastard. I'm an uncharitable bastard.
The Idiot's Lantern gets rather overlooked due to it being sandwiched between two iconic and rather highly thought of two-parters, the latter of which I reviewed last week, so go and check that out if you're interested. Penned by Mark Gatiss, this is a clever story, utilising the medium of the show as a plot device, something he achieved 4 years prior with Invaders from Mars, utilising the form of radio and creating an audio drama from it. Set in 1953, the said utilisation of the visual medium is achieved by an alien force that feeds off the energy of the brain, taking advantage of the Queen's coronation. This concept is fantastic and why I love Gattis' work for the show. The concepts alone are always the outstanding factor of the episodes. Where not always executed fantastically, there's some pretty good ideas. Gatiss also utilises the scepticism of TV back in the 50s by cleverly naming the episode The Idiot's Lantern, being what the TV was known as. The idea of people losing their facial features I believe to be a metaphor for TV. These people have lost all their character. They're not being creative or inquisitive, they're just sitting on their fat asses watching TV all day. The set design is also great. The stylistic approach of the 50s home is done really well and it feels authentic. Again, may I take a moment to analyse the cinematography of this episode. The shots of Eddie Connolly are low angles when with the family. This symbolises his patriarchal attitudes, reinforcing his dominance over the family, despite not even owning the house. When faced up with the Doctor is looming over him and more powerful than this pansy of a man. The Connolly family acts as a nice subplot to the main villain. The performances from the cast are fantastic all round, especially during that speech from Rory Jennings as Tommy about fascism. That scene is superb. Dare I say one of the best moments of Doctor Who ever.
You think I fought a war just so a mouthy little scum like you could call me a coward?
Don't get it, do you? You fought against fascism, remember? People telling you how to live, who you could be friends with, who you could fall in love with, who could live and who had to die. Don't you get it? You were fighting so that little twerps like me could do what we want, say what we want. Now, you've become just like them. You've been informing on everyone, haven't you? Even Gran. All to protect your precious reputation.
The 10th Doctor gets some nice moments whilst teaming up with the inspectors and is outraged to find that Rose has had her face stolen and been left in the street. Now, remember my last video when I mentioned the 10th Doctor's inconsistencies in his writing? Yeah, he does come across as a bit of a selfish bastard here. Why does it matter so much that Rose alone was left in the street? What about the other dozen people who've had their face fucking stolen? I do quite like the Doctor and Rose's attempts to belittle Mr. Connolly, though, for his misogynistic and patriarchal behaviours. The characterisation and portrayal of Eddie Connolly, as done by Jamie Foreman, is fantastic. The way he informs on the victims of the wire to protect his reputation is just done brilliantly. Anyway, things start to pick up. It's Coronation Day and the Doctor confronts Mr. Magpie once again. David Tennant's performance here is fantastic. He comes face to face with the Wire and Mr. Magpie atop of the Alexandra Palace TV satellite. Some have called to be reminiscent of Logopolis, or at least Doctor Who Adventures in 2006. I wish I could say more about this story. Looking back, it may just be the simplicity of the narrative that's the reason this story usually slips under the radar with Doctor Who fans. It's definitely up there as one of Mark Gatiss' best scripts for Who. In fact, the only episode that comes on top of it for me is probably The Unquite Dead. Anyway, tell me what you think about the episode in the comments. What episode would you like me to review next? Until then, goodbye.